Live from the 4.5-inch studio in the heart of the suburbs of downtown Salem, Virginia, this is Small Room, Loud Stories. I'm your host, Rob Miles. Today we're here with Mona Raza. Is that the correct pronunciation?
Yes.
All right. Well, thank you for coming, Mona. Glad to have you here.
I'm glad to be here.
Mona, you're a songwriter, performer. I met you first at the guitar pools up on the Guitars Under the Stars. That's the first time I met you.
Yes,
I think
I am a songwriter. I'm new at that, and the performing is still developing. So, my duo partner and I have booked a couple of gigs in the fall, and those will be my first performances, except for open mics.
Well, I count open mics and the guitar pools. That's kind of performing.
Yeah, in a comfortable setting.
That's the only way I really perform. I don't want to be in a band. I don't really want to be, maybe a duo. Chad and I have talked about doing a duo. Mm-hmm. So maybe I'd be interested in doing that. But I don't really want to be in a band up on a stage, playing in front of a crowd that's, either paying intent attention or not paying any attention at all.
Yeah. I mean, the only reason I started playing music, and I started, when I was a kid, I took piano lessons. And one teacher told my mom, and this will date me, that it was like burning $7 a week because I don't practice. I guess a half-hour piano lessons was $7 back in the 80s.
Well, that was a lot of money back then.
Yeah. So I was able to quit, and I really regret that. Really, really regret that, because I could have had that skill, and I could have known something about music and theory, but then when I turned 50, actually what happened was right before I was going to turn 50, I'd always really enjoyed music. My brother-in-law married into a Cajun family that they're divorced now, but during the wedding and any gatherings, the whole family would play music together. Everyone played an instrument, and they got around.
Creole sound.
Yeah. They had, someone played the accordion, someone played the fiddle.
Somebody had a jug. Somebody was blowing into a jug, I imagine.
I don't know if there was a jug, but my former sister-in-law's brother was in a pretty famous New Orleans band. So,
okay.
So and I just had the best time there. And so whenever there's and if I look at pictures of myself in law school, and whenever there's somebody with a guitar, playing a guitar or something, I'm sitting there right up there up front. And I remember that when I went to a conference, a legal, I'm an attorney by profession. And I went to a legal conference, and one of my colleagues had gathered a circle around and was playing songs that everyone was singing along to. And I thought, wow, that'd be fun if I could play something. And
to me, that's the best part about music.
That's the only goal I ever had, was to sit around with people and or a campfire and enjoy songs. And I got to do that as soon as I started playing, because I picked up the fiddle first. I was at the Floyd Country Store, and I saw a sign about the handmade music school.
Yeah.
And so I bought a fiddle, and I started taking lessons there. And then I started going to the Golden Cactus Jams, which that type of music where it's just a party, and it's just some people can't stand it, because if you're really musical, you can't stand all that dissonance and people just the mess of it.
Right.
But that's my favorite type of music, Irish pub, everyone singing, or
exactly.
Yeah. So I did that for a while, and it's a really hard instrument. You can't sing with it.
I was going to say
Yeah.
the fiddle, if you're just jumping into it, it seems like the fiddle is an ambitious first instrument.
It is. And old time tunes are accessible. It's just, you got to work on the speed and practice on that. So, you know, it's still something I want to continue doing.
Right.
I haven't touched it for a while because then like during that time, I went to 3rd Street Coffeehouse because they were having an instrument swap, and I didn't know the place existed. It's in the basement of a church.
It's easy to miss. It's just a small little postage stamp. If you don't know about it, it's easy to not even know it's there.
Yeah, so I went in there, and like nobody was buying anything, or people were trying to sell some instruments, but there were a bunch of older gentlemen sitting around and you know, picking on guitars and
Right.
and having a good time. And so I picked up the house guitar, and somebody showed me, I think it was Mitchell, who showed me how to play a few chords.
Right.
And I was like, gosh, this is so much easier than
Well, the
a fiddle.
best part is you've got the guidelines. You've got the frets to tell you where to put your fingers. Whereas
Yeah.
on a fiddle, you don't have those frets. It seems like that would be a
Well,
lot.
you don't have the frets, but you can figure that out. I think I'm comfortable with finding
Okay.
the notes now on the fretless instrument. But it's just like, you know, it's much easier to learn songs that you can play with people and,
Right.
and sing. So my friend from college, his name is Vasily Simmons. He lives in Virginia Beach. He has like a music school, and he was offering like a Christmas package of lessons.
Oh.
So I started taking lessons with him over Zoom, and that's how I started playing. And it wasn't that long ago. And then immediately, because of the 3rd Street crowd, they invited me to the song circle.
Right.
The Guitars Under the Stars.
Yeah.
And so I think I went the first time and just sat and listened. The second time I went, I learned a song that had 3 chords, but I didn't know how to sing. Like, I didn't know how to sing in the right key or anything, but I went up there and did it, and they were like, beautiful. They were like really supportive. And I know it sounded horrible, but yeah.
I always think I sound terrible when I sing, and people say, "Oh no, you're fine," and I'm like, "Yeah," but I don't think in a situation like that it really matters that much.
No,
You know,
they're
they
just it's a very encouraging environment. And
yeah, very inclusive, and I
yeah.
love going to the pools. I don't go as many as I should, just because I'll overthink it, and my anxiety starts getting in, and I'm like, oh,
Yeah.
I'm not going to be able to play anything. But when I do go, I feel immediately better once I'm there.
See, I've never had the problem of being afraid to embarrass myself, and I know that I'm not good, but I don't care. I'll do it. I have a song about that called it's called Mediocrity, and it's about just like, I have all kinds of hobbies. When I was in my 40s, I started riding bikes and mountain bikes, and then I would jump into the races, like the community races they would
Right.
have. I would always be on the podium because at that time there weren't that many women in my age group riding. This was, several years ago, and I wasn't very fast. I never was very fast, but I would just jump in. People were very kind and welcoming, and
Yeah.
and they helped you with your skills and things. And then I started coaching. So I jumped in. I don't care if I'm the best or good at anything.
Right.
I just like to do
As long as you're
stuff.
having fun
Yeah.
doing it, that's the
Yeah.
important thing. And let me apologize. I meant to ask you if you'd like something to drink. I know you brought in your water bottles, so
Yeah, I'm good.
You're
Thank
good.
you.
Okay, I'll probably cut that part out, or not. Yeah. But yeah, I've heard some of the songs that you've written at the pools and watching your reels that you post on Facebook, and you're a very good songwriter.
Oh, thank
You say
you.
you haven't been doing it for that long.
No, but I've been a fan of songwriting for, ever since I was a teenager. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
Well, who are some of your influences? Like when you're writing a song, who are you thinking about when you're...
Well, I guess like of course, more recently, like as an adult, I think of Bob Dylan and John Prine, and I've really gotten into Laura Marling, and she's this British singer songwriter that she's she's pretty famous in some circles, like in I guess in the indie circles, but I had the opportunity of taking an online class with 100, maybe 400 other people online with her through this, I think, what is it called? School of Song. They're out of California.
Okay.
And we had to she was in London in her time zone, but she's young. I mean, she's probably in her 30s, and she is an incredible songwriter. Like, just.
And what's her name again?
Laura Marling.
Laura Marling. I'll have to look that up.
Yeah, listen to her music. She's just amazing, like just wise beyond her years. And the things she taught us were like, I guess the style of songwriting I do, just because I only know a few chords. I have kind of a monotone voice. Is called, what she called it, like primitive, or I don't know, something to that effect.
Yeah.
So, but there's like some great, and she showed us. She made these playlists for every class, and one of them was about I want to say primitive songwriting. It might be another synonym of that, but she made a playlist of songs with like Tia Blake and some of her own songs, early songs, and it's the emotion is there, everything's there. It's just not real sophisticated. Do you like the Moldy Peaches from the Juno soundtrack, that type of thing?
Oh, I did see the movie Juno, but that was years ago, and I'm 60, so it's kind of hard to remember things from that far back. I would say I don't have a memory of thinking, oh, this is horrible music, so I probably liked it. And I like that kind of folky, almost like conversational singing instead of hitting all of the notes and the melodies and all that. It's where you're almost kind of talking.
Yeah. So that there's a band called the Moldy Peaches, and a lot of people, I guess, people around my age remember that soundtrack very much. They just it was just something we were attracted to, and they always compare me to that group or the singer Kimya Dawson.
Okay.
And yeah, she writes in that type of style, primitive style.
So you took the class, the songwriter class with Laura.
Mm-hmm.
What do you feel like what's one of the big takeaways that you got from the class as far as your songwriting?
I think one thing is that she has like a whole ritual to prepare for writing an album or song. She starts visiting museums and reading and listening to music and going to movies and things like that, just to like get it all in. And I think that was very helpful. Also, she's had nothing against plagiarism. Like, she's like, just copy somebody's chord progression or anything like that. This song and this song of mine is based on Paul Simon's song or
right.
So she was like, just do it. You're gonna make it your own.
Chord progressions are so common. It's hard to it's hard to get away from the fact that there's only so many chords and there's only so many ways you can put them together.
Yeah.
Where you differentiate is the melody and the lyrics.
Yeah.
So well, that's really good. And so you incorporate that into your songwriting now. I mean,
I think I tried to go back and watch the sessions, but I don't think they let you log back in or anything. Right. So I lost that. But yeah, there was a lot in her classes. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I've written songs all of my life, not very good ones as I was younger.
I've heard some of your songs and they're really good.
Well, those are the ones that I've written more recently, and thank you. Thank you. But as a teenager, I wrote the angsty teenage songs. This is going to change the world, man, if they just listen to this song, that kind of stuff. But I've found, and when I talk to people who, are asking me about, well, how do you write songs? And it's like, just like anything else, you just start doing it, and you suck at it at first until you do it enough, and then you don't suck as bad. And then, one day you're like, actually, that was a pretty good turn of phrase. And listening to your songs, I feel like you've gotten to that point pretty quickly.
Yeah, I think that's again because, when I was a teenager, I used to write poetry in college, and then just like reading and listening, I kind of shied away from the mainstream radio and stuff. And I've always, for me, a song has to have lyrics that
absolutely,
yeah. And so I can't just turn it off and just listen to the beat. If I can, I guess, if I'm working out,
background music,
yeah,
or something
background
like
or
that.
something.
That's fine.
But if I'm gonna love a song, it has to have good, well-written lyrics. And
really good lyrics can carry an otherwise bad song a lot better than a really good melody will carry bad lyrics. So I've some of my favorite bands are always lyric driven, and that's what I grew up listening to, and that's just how I think about music. It's got to be lyrics and stuff.
Mm-hmm. What bands?
Well, I mean, Beatles, all-time favorite, and then a band called XTC is probably my second favorite all-time band.
Yeah, I think I've definitely heard of them.
Yeah. But even bands like the Kinks and the Rolling Stones and the Who, and then coming up through the 70s with the Allman Brothers and just in country music. I'm a big fan of the outlaw country music as it originally existed.
Yeah.
As it originally existed, not so much what, Nashville is saying is outlaw country music now.
Yeah.
But I mean, I Willie Nelson, Waylon Jennings, excellent songwriters, and even when they made songs really famous that they didn't write, they just had that way of embodying them and making them their song.
Yeah.
So I really like that kind of stuff.
Yeah. Me too. I got when I started songwriting, and I got really into the dead Texas songwriters like Townes Van Sant and Guy Clark and
that would be a good but maybe morbid name, the Dead Texans.
yeah. Blaze Foley and all those guys, and just really love their movies. I mean, their music, and I did watch like documentaries about them, and I love Steve Earle, who was here recently, I think at the Coves yesterday or something. Yeah. I saw him at the Harvester a couple of years ago, and he just blew me away. But yeah, those guys are definitely a big influence on me. I don't know if it comes through in my music, but because I don't have that lifestyle. But
I often wonder about that. Some of my favorite songs are coming from people who have lived just, the kind of life that I haven't lived. I haven't lived a life with, drugs and alcohol being a huge part of it and stuff like that.
Yeah, I don't think you have to.
Yeah, I mean, and that's, I also write short stories and things like that. And those are, just storytelling. And so I take my songs the same way. I can write it even if I haven't directly experienced it because I've probably read about it from somebody else. I'm a voracious reader. So I probably know about that kind of thing, even if I haven't experienced myself, and can just find a way to write it.
Yeah, me too. It's like I have songs that are stories, but I think every one of my songs has just something that's true. Like I have to have some connection to it.
Absolutely.
Like I'll stick in, a reference to an object or something that's true from my life. Yeah.
Well, that's putting the personality into the story, and that's, I think audiences connect with that a lot when they, it's not a problem to be specific, to talk about something specific to you. The problem is when you get too generic. Yeah. And then people are just like, but if you're talking about the homemade wooden ukulele behind you, if you put that into a song, well, not everybody has a homemade wooden ukulele, but they understand that idea of something that's personal to you and important to you.
And it's amazing how people connect. Like they're, I'm in the same group that John Hildreth is in, the Song Machine
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was talking about that.
Yeah.
I'm really interested in finding out more about that.
We'll invite you next year. It's just a Facebook group that somebody I'd met that was from West Virginia invited me to, because most of the songwriters are from there,
Yeah.
and the guy who started it is from there. But it just amazes me. It's like so every 2 weeks they give you a prompt and you have to write a song. So John and I have many songs that have the same words in them.
Right.
Yeah. But I forgot what we were talking about. Just what I was gonna refer to. Oh, so I'll share a song on there, and I've shared one that's like completely autobiographical, and that one seemed to touch a bunch of folks because they're like, this is exactly like growing up in the 90s in a small town, or it's like it's just by putting in stuff, like swimming in a quarry or
right.
things that really happen in small towns, Southwest Virginia or West Virginia. So, yeah.
Yeah, that's. I mean, those are the best songs, the ones that you're writing from your own experiences. Even if you're just telling a story,
and they can be universal experiences.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. But speaking of biographical songs, Thursday night at the open mic, you played a song, and I've seen it on your reels also. But you played a song about your parents.
Yes. That I have been stumbling over because it's brand new. So yeah, I think I messed that up. But yeah. That's a very, biographical song about them. My parents immigrated from India. They stopped off. Well, they immigrated from India, Hyderabad, India, to the UK, soon after they got married. And my dad went over first. He was a physician, a med school graduate, and so he went there to study psychiatry in England or work as a psychiatrist. And my mom, was very young. She's like 19 and had only been home at that time. And I think it's in the very early 70s, and I was born in England when they were over there. But anyway, I remember I remember growing up in when we were in Morganton, North Carolina. I was like very young, like in preschool and in kindergarten. And I remember like on Saturday nights, they would, like in the middle of the night, they would get on the phone and call her parents and call home. And I remember it cost a lot of money for them to do that.
Back in those days.
Yeah. And then there would be like airmail envelopes coming every week.
Right.
And so, and she had told me that, what it was like to leave and her parents and everything. And she said on the flight, my dad was already there, on the flight to go meet him, they had a stopover somewhere in the Middle East, or so she at the airport, it was miserable. Her whole family was there. They're all crying, and she was crying the whole way. And then she got down or at the layover, and she decided, now I'm not going to think about the past anymore. I'm going to think about the future.
Right.
And she just switched off the tears and went for it. And yeah, she was pregnant, and he worked, and she was alone in the hospital. They were on the grounds of a mental hospital. She'd be alone there and pregnant, and sometimes the patients would get loose and knock on the door, and somebody had come in one time. So yeah, there were a lot of stories, but just the leaving home, missing home, that's what I wanted to capture in the song. And yeah.
Well, I like the line. I don't know if I've got it right. He's not very tall, but his eyes are kind.
Yeah.
That's a beautiful line. I love that.
Yeah, that's always been like the joke is, when I look at pictures of my dad, he was very good looking. And he's got very good looking face, but my mom was so beautiful that she kind of outshined him all the time. So he was always, she was always shining. So people were like,
right.
yeah, they're the same height, or they were the same height. Now he might even be shorter, but and he said he used to wear lifts in his shoes in England. I can see that in the pictures. Yeah. But yeah, that's true, and he has kind eyes and just like a brilliant mind. So she's she's beautiful, and she's also very open. Like, she's always been open to accepting whatever comes along and
right.
and making things work. And so, yeah,
That's
working
wonderful.
with what she has.
That's wonderful.
With all the changes.
Have they heard the song yet?
They have, and my mom, like, she said she cried and cried because I really did cry when I was writing letters home. Like, I would tears would be falling, and I'd be writing home. But I never told about, like, the bad stuff because I didn't want my parents to worry. So
right.
Yeah.
So they're still in England?
No, they we moved here. That's
okay.
There's another line in the song that he took her across a wider sea.
Okay.
Yeah, so we moved to North Carolina, and then I grew up in West Virginia. We were in Beckley, and then we moved to Bluefield when I was in high school on the Virginia side. So, yeah, so they stayed in Bluefield for many years, and then when my husband and I settled here and our kids were growing up, they retired and moved to Roanoke. And so they live across the street from me now.
Oh boy.
And my kids used to get off the bus at their house. So,
okay.
Yeah.
All right. I don't know that I would have wanted to be that close to my parents.
It was very helpful with.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Especially when you had kids. My wife and I never had kids, so we didn't have that.
Yeah, and it's also beneficial now because, like, whenever they need help, they're across the street as they're getting older. And
absolutely,
Yeah.
And I mean that's something that I think shines through what I know about you, your songwriting, but you're also involved in the guitar pools. Well, you go to the guitar pools, but you're involved in the 3rd Street Coffeehouse. You've recently started volunteering to help Aspen Black with the
open mic.
The open mics.
Yeah, I've been volunteering for a year or so there. It's all run by volunteers. Mm-hmm. It's just it's a very welcoming place, and it's the place that kind of nurtured my music because I started attending the open mics with Aspen, which are really welcoming. It's I've been to other open mics that are just not welcoming of amateurish or people that are going to mess up all the time.
Right. And sometimes they're a little too, you go there and there's maybe 6 other people waiting to play, and they're all concerned about what they're going to play. And they're not really paying.
Or it's in a bar where everyone's talking and not listening.
Yeah, and you're pouring your heart out on the mic.
Yeah,
and they're having another cigarette, drinking a beer, and you're like, just listen. Don't listen too close.
They're having a good time. And some people prefer that atmosphere because they don't want people listening
Don't want to.
Because I've had friends who played in, who are used to playing in loud bars. And they, like, if they come to the open mic at 3rd Street,
everybody's like, so attentive.
Everyone's so sober and listening, and it freaks them out.
You want people to be maybe a little bit better lubricated before they start listening to you. But everybody's sober and very attentive at the 3rd Street Coffeehouse.
Yeah, so I volunteer sometimes at the counter, and I'd like to learn sound, and Aspen allows me to run sound sometimes.
She gives you all the blank buttons. Here, slide this one. I'm doing it.
Yeah, but she's definitely she's a great mentor in that aspect. But now they have allowed me to have my own show, which is the Songwriters round on the first Thursdays, and that was a dream come true because I talked about getting into the dead Texan songwriters. There's an album with Townes, Van Sant, and Steve Earle, Guy Clark. I think it's the 3 of them that they recorded at the Bluebird Cafe in Nashville, which is kind of a famous joint that's a listening room as well. And they have songwriters in the round, and it's a great album. It's a live album that and there's so much they're all good friends, and there's a lot of banter and history among them. And I also watched this documentary called I think it's called It All Begins with a Song, and a lot of it takes place at the Bluebird and the Songwriters rounds, and it's about the Nashville songwriters, the songwriters behind the hits, kind of, and the publishing and all that goes on there. But those songwriters also play in the round at the Bluebird. Their hits that they wrote for Garth Brooks or the famous singers. And so I thought like Third Street would be the perfect place for something like that. And
it really is. Yeah. I was at the first one briefly. It was a weeknight, and so I just have to get home.
Yeah, it's always a Thursday night.
Yeah,
but you can watch the live feed.
I do, and I'll watch. I'll go back and watch the recording of it as well, and that's really helpful for me. But that first one, you had Randolph Thomas, Catherine the Great,
and I had Carrie Hinckley.
Yeah. All three of them were just so wonderful.
They were.
And I felt bad because I'd already determined what time I was going to leave. And what did you say the third?
Carrie Hinckley.
Carrie had just said something about this song. A lot of people walk out on this song, and I'm like, and I'm leaving right after this song. Oh no, because I already knew what time I had to leave, and I was going to wait for her to finish the song. And I'm like, I hope she doesn't see me leaving and think that I'm one that did that.
I wish I could go back and watch that, but that's disappeared from Facebook since I found out they disappear after about a month. From the reels on Third Street, that I started asking Bob Schmucker to send me a Dropbox copy so that I can share them and have them forever and share them with the songwriters.
Yeah, I was going to say if you need help with that, I've got plenty of disk space that I can put them on if you want to. Yeah,
I rent or I pay for Dropbox, but. So I've been saving them after I think the third one I started saving.
Well, that's smart because that's some great performances
there was. And Carrie I think Carrie got a copy of the first one. Oh, maybe I have a copy of the first one because I know she asked for it because she took clips from that and she would use them a lot for ads and for her posts.
Right.
Yeah. So I think she shared every one of her songs. So she was able to use that. So now I send them to the songwriters when I get the downloaded copy. And I've seen like the last one I had with Lynn Crossett, who came from Texas. I've seen him share some of those songs as well. Yeah.
That's neat.
Yeah, that was a dream come true, and I was like,
So you've had that's once a month, and you've had 3 or 4 now.
Oh, it started in February. So February, March, April, May, June.
I'm living in the past.
5.
5.
Yeah, we've had 5 rounds already, and we have one coming up in July. And what I love about it is, I thought I know enough songwriters that I could, ask them to come. But then I also wanted to open it up from the regulars of the SVSA or which is the Southwest Virginia Songwriters Association. I'm a member of that. Or Third Street, and just bring in some new people and younger folks and some different kinds of music. I know we're not going to have thrash metal or anything, but we've had pop punk and on acoustic guitars. So it's and that really worked out. So what I did was ask people to submit 2 songs if they'd like to be in the round. And I immediately got a bunch of submissions. I'm booked all the way through this year and through February next year. So and it's great. And there are people that are touring musicians that'll reach out. There's, pretty famous gigging musicians here, in town. I've got who do I have coming up? Keith Goggins going to
play. Yeah,
I
was going to say Keith Goggins.
Nadine Martin and T.J. Ellis and
TJ's good too.
Yeah, they're really good. That's going to be a great round.
And he's a good person.
Yeah, yeah. And then the fella Sean Michael Poff, I think who's organized that album for the Roanoke refugee.
Okay.
I forgot what it's called. I bought a copy from Bandcamp, but he's going to play. And then there's someone coming from Massachusetts. Her booking agent contacted me.
Yeah. Wow. That's big.
Darren Bradbury's coming in November from Nashville. And so, yeah, it's amazing how nobody knows that I'm a novice. they're still
they're coming to you.
They're coming to me.
That's great, because I was gonna say, I mean, just I've been pretty fortunate with being able to get people here for recording these episodes. Mm-hmm. Again, thank you very much for coming in. But with a lot of the people I'm talking to, they're just so busy. It's hard to find a spot in their schedule.
Right.
So I wondered if you were going to have that same herding cats kind of issue that I sometimes run into with trying to get,
I think with doing it with submissions and, people saying, I'm available, it's limited to one day a month.
You got one shot at it this month.
So if they say, I'm available and, in September on this day, then I can put a round together around that.
Okay.
So yeah.
And actually, I guess it's kind of helpful that you're booking so far out, because that gives them time to say, well, you know what, I'll make sure that day is open, instead of trying to scramble to see if you can get
they have it on their
in
calendar
for 2 weeks. Yeah.
They've had it on their calendar. Folks have been like, Aspen's duo partner. I don't know if you saw that one. Carrie Grombacher is, he's worked with everybody and he's a big deal on the Western music scene. He came through and people spread the word. When Lynn went back to Texas, I've been contacted, or at least gotten followed by some people in the Austin scene as well. So I think it's just spreading, by word of mouth, people are learning about it.
That's the best way. I mean, I haven't seen any overt advertising other than you just post on it about it on Facebook, but there's not been any obnoxious, reels saying, come to the, or anything like that. It's great that you're able to get that word of mouth out.
Yeah. It's a really cool thing. And I don't think there's a regular one going on around here. Some other towns have it, but this might be and we occasionally see songwriters around at the Spot or other venues, but it's not like every month or anything like that. So it's been a lot of fun. The first one I did curate because I got Randolph involved, because I had to pitch this to 3rd Street. Yeah. And I had to.
I kind of love this story. You told this the first night there.
And I was like, I know Randolph has a lot of clout, and I know Eric Strachewski does great sound, and I was gonna ask them to team up with me, and they did, and they were all excited about it. So that helps, and they've been there every time and helping out, and Aspen has been doing the counter every time. So yeah.
And I remember you said when you first went to Bob about it. I mean, Bob stays so busy with so many things. I can understand where he's like, I don't know if I want another project going on.
Yeah. It's like I had to badger Bob a bit about it, but and I appreciate that he lets us have it there. So
I think he's just happy that he doesn't have to do anything for it.
Yeah, I mean, he still does get the bakery's items and turn on the heat and stuff.
Yeah,
he could. Yeah, I'd be happy to do that, but he still stays involved with all that. Yeah. So it's work for him every time there's a show, I think, at the place. But yeah, he's made it, so great, I think. I mean, I've only been involved at Third Street since Bob, had it running after COVID.
Right.
So I haven't seen, but I've heard that it's like it used to be very not well attended and kind of just a few people. Now we have new faces all the time coming in.
Yeah,
and to book a Friday night show, and those are also like Mike Frankie books those through the website. Those are also booked all through, the schedule is full through the year. There's not very many vacancies, and they are. And if you've seen some of the shows or on the live feed, these are like legitimate touring musicians that are coming and playing for tips and that, which is amazing.
Chad and I, when we play, we various instruments, because he can play guitar or bass, and I can play guitar or not. So, but we've talked about doing a duo, and at that time, that was probably about 2 years ago. I knew about the Coffeehouse, and I'd been to a few of the pools by that time. And I think it was around that time I was going to the Songwriters Associated meetings. And I was looking at the calendar then, and it was like, okay, well, they're 3 or 4 months out, at that time. I mean, it was probably early spring. So, 2 or 3, maybe 4 months out. And we were talking about jumping in on one of those 7:30 to 8 slots. Just get
the opening slots. Yeah,
get
that's
6 songs together
and
do that. And I think now it's harder to get. Well, the opening slots are maybe a little bit easier to get into.
Yeah, I
think
you should just try it. It takes a while. Mike's also a volunteer and is going to check the emails when he can, but there's opening slots available still, and that's how Myrna and I mean, we waited a couple of months to hear it. we secured one. So I would definitely put in the application for one. And
we'll see. Chad has a life, so he oftentimes doesn't have the open schedule that I do. So it's hard for us to get together. We haven't actually even played together in several months now. We're still in contact, and we need to get together and play.
Yeah, I haven't seen him come to the guitar pool or anything.
He came to a couple with me. I think there was 2 different ones that we went to.
Okay. I think I saw him at one when I was I don't go to all of them either.
It's hard for me to keep everything straight, but I don't. I'll go like 3 or 4 events in a row, and then not for 4 months because of just things going on or just not having the energy. And right now they're doing it at 6:00, which I understand, but that's a little late for me on a Sunday.
It is,
that's my winding down time. I'm much better at something like 1:00 or 2:00 on a Sunday.
I do think that 2:00 on Sunday was a great time slot for very convenient. Hopefully they'll go back to that.
Well, when they do it outside, it can get really hot.
Yeah, so that's why they switch for the summertime. But in the fall, I think they'll go back to the
But and that's such a great group of performers that come there.
Yeah,
they're I almost all of them have some experience on stage, performing on stage. But even the ones that don't, I mean, it's just very, very entertaining to watch them play. And Bob and his bug songs, and and non-bug songs as well, and Bill, his
everyone knows Bill's songs because they're the sing-alongs like "Hold On" and things, and we've heard them so many times, and it's like a beautiful chorus whenever he plays them. Everyone sings along.
But if you don't mind talking about it, the law, I had the name in my head, but the law office that you've
Oh, Legal Aid Society.
the Legal Aid Society.
No,
I'm sorry.
I don't mind talking about it. So my main job is I had for years I'd been a staff attorney in various legal aid offices, and that's place where people can go who are can't afford an attorney and apply to have a free attorney for civil cases, not criminal matters. But
right.
So I'm now the director of Legal Aid Society of Roanoke Valley, which is like a more than full-time job. So this hobby, I can do this hobby because my kids are grown and gone away, you know. So,
right.
But yeah, so that is, you know, what I do every day. I still do cases, even and then manage the office as well. So yeah.
Now, did you start the Roanoke?
No.
Okay.
This is the oldest staffed legal aid in Virginia. It was started in 1966. We're in our 60th anniversary year right now. Yeah. And what the great thing is, one of Henry Woodward is my mentor. He was a prior director of legal aid of the office.
Right.
He's won a couple of cases in the Supreme Court of the United States. He's just like a humble, amazing person, and he still volunteers there several hours a week. Just he's retired, and then my predecessor David Beidler also volunteers there. So we have. And one of our board members, Roy Creasy, volunteers there. So we have this brain trust of retired attorneys that comes and works with our younger staff attorneys, and and it's great. Yeah.
I mean, and I admire your service to the community.
Thank you.
Through the law office, the Legal Aid Society. Sorry,
yeah.
Through the Legal Aid Society, and even through the Songwriters round. You know, you're providing a lot of really good things for the area, for the people in the area to.
Thank you. It's so, you know, I'm very, very fortunate that I love my job, and you know, it doesn't pay as much as if you worked in a private law firm, but you get the benefit of, you know, less guilt, or like kind of knowing that you're helping people, and so the folks that on our staff are, I think probably there are a few that are, you know, just joined that are young, but likely to be lifers. So
right.
We have some people that have, you know, over 20 years experience, and this is what they've wanted to do their whole careers, and they do it. So and I think it's because you know, it's while your compensation also comes with just a light heart. Yeah. You know, without the burden. So yeah, I don't think I'd want any other job. And I love doing that. And then of course the music part, that's become a passion too. And it's just, you know, something that I love doing, and I don't, you know, I probably won't even make any tips ever doing anything, but I like, I like bringing in artists that you might not get to hear, who are just like amazing talents, and
right.
And I think, and it's mostly because I want to hear them play, and so
and that really shines through. You're not doing this as a, you know, it's
not a job.
It's not a job.
Yeah.
You're doing it because you really enjoy doing it, and the people who are there are people that you enjoy listening to.
Yeah,
and that shines through a lot.
Yeah, and it's. Yeah, because they, you know, most people have, and some people I'm surprised with, like, you know, like the Mackenzies, they each did a separate writers round, and they're well known for playing at the contra dances and playing traditional old time type music around at gigs, and at the old time jams and things. But I was astounded that they're both great songwriters. You know, they submitted songs to me, and I was like, "Wow, yeah, you can be in the round." And but I'm not doing duos. You have to be in separate ones. So,
right.
So yeah, that was a great night. I don't know if you caught that show. I think it was Ezra Ford, Marsha McKenzie, and who else was in that? I'm thinking of who was in the middle of that. But every one of them has been great. There's one recently with Mike Franke, Joel McLaughlin, and Amanda Bakke, and their banter was incredible. I mean, they're all brilliant musicians, but their banter was so great. And that one the sound was messed up on the Facebook.
Oh.
Yeah, so it didn't quite make it until like halfway through the show. But yeah.
Yeah, I always have a fear, you know, at the end of this, I'll go over there and click on the stop recording. Yeah. And I always have the fear that I'll, you know, say, okay, and then go over there and it says start recording. And I'm going to be like, ah. So I glance over there just to make sure it's still recording every now and then.
Yeah, so yeah, it's been fun. I'm always I always sit and listen, but you know, I have to do other stuff.
Right.
But then I always go back and the next day I'll listen to it a couple of times. I think the whole round, and I'm like, wow, that's great.
Yeah. I need to go back and find the ones that are on there and listen to them, because it's always good music. It's always so good that it makes me feel like, oh, I can't write that well. But then I think about it, I'm like, but I can learn something from him, and maybe I can write something that I can learn from, you know.
I think you definitely, I would love for you to do the round.
Yeah. The biggest issue, because everyone I've seen on there, they are people who either are currently actively, you know, playing and performing in front of people, or have at some point, you know, maybe they're not currently, but they have at some point. They're very polished and smooth. Mm-hmm. I am not.
That's just like what I would advise is, I haven't booked myself in the round yet. I think one day I want to do Randolph, me and Eric, like the team. Yeah. But I think it just, you know, hitting the open mics and getting some experience performing. Yeah. I've gotten a lot of feedback from friends that or people that saw me when I did my first open mics at 3rd Street. I would always mess up and have to start. I did that last week. Actually mess up and have to start over or forget the words or something like that. I've been at the front row and I've forgotten the words.
Right.
And that's another great one to go to with
the front row.
The front row. It's on Wednesday nights. It's run by Levi and Kat Graves, and it's on Salem Avenue.
Okay.
Yeah. And that's a really noisy dive bar, and it's good to get that experience as well. And so I've loved playing there when it's dead. But and they have comedians, they have variety shows, but there's so many open mics now. Just hit everyone, and then after a while you just you get comfortable up there.
Yeah. I really do consider myself more of a songwriter than really a performer per se. You know, I don't mind playing
me too.
At open mics or you know, in front of the guitar pool, but I feel like my music always sounds better when there are accompanying instruments that are covering up the mistakes I'm making. And
well, I mean, I think, you know, our songwriters round, we have had people jam, and you're right, they've all been pretty accomplished musicians or comfortable musicians and comfortable for performing in front of people. But they, you know, you could definitely get there if you just
it's the techniques of playing melody in between the chords that if you're playing solo, you really should be able to do those things.
You don't have to. If you've got the words, you can just play the words. Yeah,
that's true. That's true.
Just
I just couldn't imagine being up on the stage and having to follow Keith Goggin. That would be like a look at the time, I gotta go.
Yeah. Well, you won't have to because he's doing. I think he's in October with TJ and Nadine.
Well, maybe by next spring when you're booking into 2027, I'll feel confident
Definitely,
enough.
Yeah.
And especially if I get in that what did you call it, the songwriter.
Oh, the group, the Song Machine.
The Song Machine, yeah. If I get into the Song Machine, then maybe I'll start getting a backlog of original songs that right now I've got a handful of original songs that I don't know that I could, fill out a full round format.
Yeah, the Song Machine's great I've had so many keepers from there. That the one about my parents is from the Song Machine.
What is the name of that one?
Oh, what am I going to call it? The prompt was open heart, open mind. You had to write it just like that.
Right.
You can't say open heart and open mind or anything like that. So, and I thought I'd replace it or something after, but I think it works with the song. I will probably just keep it there. So
it works with the song. I could see Kind Eyes.
Yeah. Kind Eyes is for the title. Yeah. I'll take any ideas for the title. I don't know what I would call it. Kind Eyes. His eyes were kind.
Yeah. That's that's a very good title because that's a theme that comes throughout the whole song.
Yeah, the chorus. I do the chorus over and over again in that song, but I feel like doesn't need a bridge. I need to learn to write bridges because I usually my songs are pretty short, and it's just like something you're supposed to do. And I usually do verse, chorus, or...
Bridges I've found, I'm not the best at writing bridges, but just like your teacher was telling you about stealing chord progressions.
Yeah.
If you listen to those songs in the chord progressions that do have bridges... You don't have to lift the bridge exactly like it is, but it's just using basically the same chords
in a different order.
Just in a different order, and you get a little bit of a different lift to it, or maybe a drop to it, and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But
somebody at SVSA, it might have been Greg Trefigolo, said we were doing the critique of one of my songs, and he said your bridge should be like walking away from the song, walking out on a bridge, literally like walking on a bridge, and coming back. So something a little bit different, and then come back to the song.
Roll right back into the song.
Yeah.
I don't write bridges on every songs that I have. I've been trying to get a little bit better about doing that, but two recent songs that I wrote, and one of them I was telling you about, I don't have bridges in them, and it's intentional for those particular songs because they're both songs that are trying to convey the sameness of a day-to-day thing. So I intentionally kept it.
It has to suit the song. Right. Yeah. So the Song Machine, the problem with the Song Machine, it's very strict. You have to join in January and then do one every 2 weeks. And I've had friends. I think my close friends are all still in it, and they've had times where they're like, I'm out. I can't do this prompt, or I don't have time.
If you miss a prompt,
but then they'll just, I guess they can't slip away, and they'll do like a just put something together. You could do like.
It doesn't have to be a great song.
No, it could be a partial song. It could be just a couple of rhymes or something, and they'll just to stay in.
Yeah.
And so then everyone has gotten usable songs that I've heard them play. Rob Frame has one that was in the competition where he advanced to the finals out of the Song Machine. And so
there's like it's kind of a contest too.
No, it's not a contest. That was a separate contest he submitted.
I got you.
It's just to make the songs. There's not a whole lot of critique in there at all. Just like mostly compliments or, people's observations about the songs are really like, they're so different, and it's wild because they're all using the same prompt. And
I'm really excited about it. I think that would be, I love prompts that give me an idea.
Yeah.
I don't want too strong a prompt, make this song sad and make it about a rainy day or, something like that. But I like the idea of words as the prompts.
Yeah.
And
I think some of my best songs have been from prompts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, do you find, if you're given a prompt, do you like it being more open-ended? Like it sounds like to me that the and I've forgotten the name again.
Song Machine.
Song Machine. Doggone it. It sounds to me like Song Machine, from what you and what John described, is that it's just the prompt of the words, and you have to use those words as is in the song.
Yeah, it's either a phrase or just a word. Like one was awake, and then we had like Sweet Rose. We had I think now it's like Into the Woods, which is, I don't know what to do, because you could write a very trite song with that one. And the last time it was Open Heart, Open Mind. But sometimes it's just a word. Once it was Cannabis, which made for really fun around. Yeah.
A lot of high C songs, I guess.
Yeah.
But there aren't any other restrictions on it,
No.
right? There's not I have written from prompts that are somewhat restrictive. Here's an idea. Now you're restricted to this chord progression.
Yeah, no. This is this is just a word.
Okay.
Or is it words that you have to use in your song?
Well, I kind of like the prompt where it restricts me, because then I'm free to be
idea.
creative on that without having, and it kind of gets back to the same thing that John was talking about. I don't know if you know about the double album that he's going to be releasing over a span of time. But he was in the episode he was in, he was talking about how he restricted himself to only using the tenor banjo, the keyboard, and the synthesizer. I think were the three. I'd have to go back and listen, but no guitar. And none of the no drums, no bass, just those three instruments. And he said that
he got a double album.
He said that he really liked having that restraint, because then he's not looking at all these things he can use and having to decide, well, what am I going to do today? He's limited to those three, so now he can just be creative with those three. Now, that said, I wouldn't want every song prompt to be like that, very restrictive. But it's kind of interesting when you do have a specific restriction on it.
You could add a restriction for yourself.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Yeah. I probably would. Okay, well, this one is going to be, a 1-5-4-6, or something like that, just to get me in where I'm not thinking, well, what chords am I going to play on this one? Just figure out the chord progression and then go from there. Yeah. But yeah, definitely looking forward to getting involved in that. And so I think what I understand about it is if you don't write a song before the deadline, then you're out for the rest of the year.
If you don't post a video before the end of the deadline. And some people don't, they just do a lyric video or
right.
Something, or a recording and with the lyrics, like a wave recording or something like that.
Yeah.
You can do that too. If you want eyeballs or if you want people to watch, it's better to do a video or performance video. So, yeah.
Okay. Well, that's all very interesting. And what more? What am I? Let's see. What am I? What am I forgetting to ask about? Or what more do you want to talk about?
I think
because we've covered the
songwriters round. Oh, I know what we can talk about.
Okay.
I just I don't know if you've heard about this. The Atlantic came up with a database where artists can search to see if their songs or books or writings have been used to train AI.
Ah.
Yeah. And so I've been kind of messing. My friend Darren Bradbury posted that 11 of his songs were used to train AI. And then throughout the day, I've seen on Instagram so many artists say that their songs were used to train AI.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, that kind of makes me mad because these folks aren't going to be compensated for that. And then the robots will
Spit
write
out.
like like an indie artist, so it's kind of perplexing. I looked on there and the more like Taylor Swift has 400 plus songs that were used to train
I couldn't
AI.
imagine even having 400 songs total, much less 400 songs that were used.
So and it's kind of wild. I actually have a song, a snarky song about AI, and it's controversial. I'm kind of in the minority. Like, I don't think AI should be used to produce art, and
I agree. If
it has usefulness, like to to write a thank you letter, that's for mass production or something like that. Yeah.
And it's like a lot of things. It's a tool that can be used for good purposes, but it can also be abused by people who don't want to put the time and effort into writing their own song. If you can go into something like Suno and say, I want to write a song about being happy, go.
Yeah.
That's not really...
Yeah, but going back to like the music I prefer, like I said, I put something real in every one of my songs. Some of them are completely real. Some of them are stories, but there's something in there that's a place or an object or something that I wrote one called it was for the prompt. I've been thinking. That was a good prompt. There were so many songs. Most people started their song with that line.
Right.
Yeah. And so that one I had like a Ford Escort that a friend had in the 90s in there. So there's something that's real everywhere. So I feel like, why do it if it's, I guess, to do it to have a hit, make money, whatever. But for me, songwriting is expression, human expression.
Yeah.
And the songs I like to listen to come from a human place. So that's, and I don't mind that it's clunky or primitive or,
awkward.
The guitars, the singing is not perfect. I don't mind that. I still think there's great songs to listen to. And if you look at my playlist, it has people that are really awkward on there, but are great songwriters. And so, you want an orchestra in your song, or you want instruments that you don't play and things, or a better voice or something like that. I'm just not interested in that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember probably one of the next to the last Songwriter Association meetings that I went to. I can't remember his name, but he introduced his song by saying that he had written this song and it was very lyrically dense, and he realized the only genre of music that would really encompass everything that he had written was rap. But he's not a rapper, and he couldn't, he said there was no way he could sing it that fast, even rapping, with the music behind him. So he used a tool, I won't say the name, but he used an AI tool, put his lyrics in and
had it rap it
and genre rap and had it come out, and it was pretty decent. But to that point, I can't play bass guitar, I can't play a mandolin, I can't play a harmonica, so I've written some songs. I write the lyrics, I write the chord progression, and I've used a tool to put that in just to see what it would sound like if, musicians with with a lot more talent than me, which I understand it's not musicians, it's AI, but there are some interesting outcomes, and some of the songs have sounded pretty good, but still. Yeah, all in all, I'm not going to take a recording of that and say, to say the guitar pool and say, hey, listen to this song I wrote and play the recording.
The performance is a part of it. I mean, I don't know if I'll ever come around. I'm pretty set on this. And I think a good way to take us out is if I play my song about AI for you.
Yeah. Right. All right. I don't know if that one is in tune, but this one is in tune. If you want to play this one.
Should I move the mic around or something?
I think it'll pick it up pretty good. Like I said, I can take care of it in post to make sure. But let's point it at your 12th fret.
All right.
And that will probably get you a little bit better.
And I don't know, do I have a title for this one or not? The prompt was guts. For all you song machiners out there. You have to edit this. Listen, my friend, don't get me wrong, but I don't want to hear your degenerative song. 'Cause I spill my guts on the page every day. And I don't give a damn what AI has to say. 'Cause there ain't much art in artificial. And they've taken all the smart out of intelligence too. And while you steal the voice of that famous singer, I'd rather hear someone who sounds just like you. I know you didn't play a single note in that little ditty you claim you wrote. And if you need strings in your composition, here's an idea. Why not hire a musician? 'Cause there ain't much art in artificial. And they've taken all the smart out of intelligence too. And while you steal the voice of that famous singer, I'd rather hear someone who sounds just like you. I should have a bridge. There's no bridge. Well, you may be right. You might have a hit, and the masses will scream it and buy all your shit. But even then, I'll be my own boss, and I can just turn the radio off.
I love it. And I think that's the first time I've heard you cuss.
On the radio, no less.
On the radio, no less.
Yeah. No, I actually had a bad cuss in the first verse that I changed to a mild cuss. Yeah.
I've got one song that actually drops the S and the F bomb in, and my wife keeps saying I should play it at the guitar pool, and I'm like, no, I don't think I want to play.
I actually had my after the election in 2024.
Yeah. Oh, there was a lot of F-bombs to throw around.
No, I wrote a song that's completely unplayable anymore. No, I wrote a song that was completely. I can't play it anymore because it was just like what's going to happen now? Like all the bad things that are going to happen, and like everything happened. And so it's like,
it doesn't sound like you're predicting it anymore. You're just
it's
reporting
like a prediction
it.
song. And so it had, it was called Shit Show. And I played it at the guitar pull. They loved it.
Well, maybe they're not the fuddy-duddies that I've built it up in my mind.
No.
I think a lot of it is because some of the ones that I went to early on were held at the 3rd Street Coffeehouse, which is in the basement of the church. And so in my mind, it's like...
if it's not being broadcast, I think they...
they probably wouldn't mind as much.
I don't think they would like it. I have actually had... and I'm going to name Eric Chapman here because I told everyone we can't cuss on the live feed, and you know, he did the mild cusses, like he used damn and hell, but he used them a whole damn lot. and I asked him about that afterwards. And he said, I didn't cuss. I just said damn.
For a lot of people, you hear it on TV. It's not a cuss word anymore,
right.
You know. I do remember watching one of the broadcasts a year or so ago, I guess, and it was somebody from out of town who was in the area and was playing a man. He was the 8 o'clock the main act. And he had a song, and at one point he said shit, and his eyes kind of twicked a little bit when he said that, and he kind of hurried along into the next verse, and that might have been completely reading into it, but it just seemed to me like he was thinking, uh-oh, I wasn't supposed to say that.
That's funny. I watched Amanda Baki's, I think it was when she was the headliner at 3rd Street, and she has this great song, and it's like it goes, I'm that bitch. And I knew the song because I'd heard her play it somewhere else before. And on there, she's changed it to I'm that chick. And I'm like, Amanda, it doesn't have the same effect, but she did it for Lafayette.
It doesn't hit quite the same way.
Yeah. Well, this has
Mona,
been fun.
this has been a lot of fun. I've had a lot of fun with this conversation, and thank you so much for coming in.
Well, thank you for having me. This has been great. Yeah. I could sit all day and talk about music and songwriting.
And like with my other guests, I mean, I would definitely love to have you come in at a future time, and we can do another episode.
Okay. It sounds like you have a whole line of people waiting to come on.
I don't yet have a whole line of people waiting to come on. Absolutely. And I'm kind of getting to where I want people to reach out to me, you know, and I did talk to Aspen the other night and tell her that I'd love to have her on the show. So if she's got some free time on a Saturday or Sunday coming up, just to reach out to me through the webpage, or through the Facebook page. You know, I'm not above going out and begging, but I will tell my friends and people I know what a great experience it is, and suggest that they reach out. All right. Well, we've had a great time here. So to wrap it up, what would you want people to know about Mona?
Well, I mean, Mona is not a perfectionist, but you know, got passion behind everything I do, and I usually do whatever I want and not what I don't want, unless it's for work or something. So yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you very much, and we'll be glad to have you on again sometime.
Okay. Thank you.